release it and it will spring back. Okay, and it will leave you with the becket facing this way, towards your body, or if you like 6 o'clock. This being 6 o'clock, that being 12. Give it a tap so it just holds in. Get your rest pin punched, knock it down until there's about 1/4 of an inch or 5 mil of that thread still showing. Don't knock it right in. Okay.
Sorry, how much?
About 5 mil of that thread still showing. Don't knock the pin right the way home. Okay, now, I'm going to go through this loads of times, and it's down to practice and being accurate. Pick up the string, take it towards the hitch pin, getting rid of any slack, go over the bridge, around the rest pin, around the hitch pin tightly, and then pull it back. So you're going to get a wee bit of slack, but try and get rid of the slack. Okay, like so. So, I've got 2.5 turns on this pin with the becket facing me. I'll come over the bridge, around the hitch pin and back. Okay, now hang on to it, because if you don't hang on to it, it's going to come off the hitch pin. This is where the plastic comes in. Now, the trade says when you cut the string for the last rest pin, to measure 3 turns around the rest pin, you use 4 fingers like so. Those 4 fingers represent 3 turns around the rest pin. I don't use that. Your hands are different from mine. Your hands are bigger. That's Amy's got big hands and you've got small hands. So it don't really work, does it? So this represents 3 turns around the rest pin. I think I'm the only guy who uses this. I don't know, but you can measure it. But you've got to all make one. So what I do is, to get 3 turns around my next rest pin, I look directly down the hole in the plank. Okay? I place this piece of plastic under the string. And this edge of the string, I cover half the hole. So I'm looking down, and this edge of the piece of plastic is covering half that rest pin hole. Okay? Okay, so I'm looking down there, and all I can see is half of that hole, because this piece of plastic is covering the other half. I get my cutters.
How tight are you pulling it off there? Just so it's
just tight, so I'll hold the slackness away. And then I nip that string off and just double check there, look directly down. I'm covering half that hole, mind your face. Okay, now, how I cut it, I'm hoping that that piece of string is going to give me 3 turns on the next rest pin. So, I'll pick up my next rest pin, I put it through the hole, making sure that the wire comes all the way through, and hold it there. Because I've got a spring there, I've turned the pin and I've got a curve, it holds itself into the rest pin. There. And I get my string, my core maker, thumb again and turn. There. String, tap. There. Now the string's on. Now I'm hoping that there's equal amount of wire on each rest pin, and if I measured it right, it should be right. Now, this first rest pin you need to turn, because the becket needs to be at 12 o'clock. It needs to be under the pin. There, I'm going to turn that becket to there. Do you see it there? That's where it should be. On all stringed strong pianos it should be. Second one should come round and end up in the same place, and it does. Both those beckets are under the pin and in the correct place.
Is it in the correct place?
Okay? So those beckets are finished up in the correct place. So I've got 3 turns, the beckets are exactly in the same place because I've cut it right, and that's exactly where I want them. Okay? So I'm happy with that. And there's a wee bit of tension on there, just a wee bit, which is fine. You don't put a great deal of tension on, you just leave it quite slack when you're stringing. Right, having done that, I'm happy with my cuts. The beckets are exactly in the same place, and when you look into the piano, the stringing is neat. I don't want a becket all the way around here, I don't want it too short or too long, I want it the correct length. Pick up your stringing hook. Put the hook underneath the string, loosen off the rest pin, pull it up, and it closes those coils together. You see those coils are closed? Nice and neat. Then get your punch and knock it in to the correct level where the thread just disappears. Okay? Pass me a little screwdriver, please, Stella. Thank you. And just to finish off, I just tap those coils down, neat and tidy, and to finish off, pair of pliers, just push those beckets in, making sure they're in. Now, that cut was a guess. Do you remember I passed the plastic over, I could see half the hole. If that cut had been wrong, I could pull the plastic this way to make the string longer, or take it that way to make it shorter, okay? But, because I know that that works by covering half the hole, I can only see half the hole, it will work right the way through the piano. So it'll be the same cut all the time. So that is the end result. Nice and tidy, neatness, and each string is cut spot on. Okay? I'll go through it again.